ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललितां श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्यत देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। नमो ब्राह्मण देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय ते नमः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। I welcome everyone for the class.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna everyone. Okay. So we are doing prayers by Devahuti. Only 2 verses are left, but very big purport will complete today. Again, glorification of the holy name. I think 7 and 8. We'll first read both and then we'll do the class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 33, Verse 7. Aho batashva pachoto gariyan yajjivagre vartate namatupyam te pustapaste juhuvu shashurnur arya brahmanuchurnam agrananti yete. Can repeat. Aho batashva pachoto gariyan
Ahobatasva pachoto gariyan
यज्जिह्वाग्रे वर्तते नाम तुभ्यम्
yajjivagre vartate namatubhyam
ते पुस्तपस्ते जुहुवुः शशुर्आर्या
te pustapaste jujukvus sasunarya
ब्रह्मानुचूर्णां गृह्णन्ति ये ते
brahmanuchurnamagranantiyete
अहो बतश्व पचतो गरीयान्
ahobatasva pachato gariyan
यज्जिह्वाग्रे वर्तते नाम तुभ्यम्
यज्जिह्वारे वर्तते नाम तुभ्यम्
ते पुस्तपस्ते जुहुः सस्नुर्यार्य
ते पुस्तपस्ते जुहुदशनार्य
ब्रह्मानुचूर्णाम गृह्णन्ति ये ते
ब्रह्मानुचूर्णाम गृह्णन्ति ये ते
Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, how glorious are they whose tongues are chanting your holy name. Even if born in families of dog eaters, such persons are worshipable. People who chant the holy name of your Lordship must have executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifices and achieved all the good manners of the Aryans. To be chanting the holy name of your Lordship, they must have bathed at holy places of pilgrimage, studied the Vedas, and fulfilled everything required. Very good. Yes, who wants to read the purport? Big purport. Maybe 2 people can read. You can raise your hand. Yes, Muralidharan. Yeah,
Mataji, can I go?
Yeah, please start.
Purport 3. As it is stated in the previous verse, a person who has offenselessly chanted the holy name of God becomes immediately eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. One should not be astonished by this statement of Srimad Bhagavatam. One should not disbelieve or think how by chanting the holy name of the Lord one can become a holy man, to be compared to the most elevated Brahmana. To eradicate such doubts in the minds of unbelievers, this verse affirms that the stage of chanting of the holy name of the Lord is not sudden, but that the chanters have already performed all kinds of Vedic rituals and sacrifices. It is not very astounding, for no one in this life can chant the holy name of the Lord unless he has passed all lower stages, such as performing the Vedic ritualistic sacrifices, studying the Vedas, and practicing good behavior like that of the Aryans. All this must first have been done. Just as a student in a law class is to be understood to have already graduated from general education, anyone who is engaged in the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, must have already passed all lower stages. It is said that those who simply chant the holy name with the tip of the tongue are glorious. One does not even have to chant the holy name and understand the whole procedure, namely the offenseless stage, and pure stage. If the holy name is sounded on the tip of the tongue, that is also sufficient. It is said herein that Nama, a singular number, one name, Krishna or Rama, is sufficient. It is not that one has to chant all the holy names of the Lord. The holy names of the Lord are innumerable, and one does not have to chant all the names to prove that he has already undergone all the processes of Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. If one chants only once, it is to be understood that he has already passed all the examinations, not to speak of those who are chanting always, 24 hours a day. It is specifically said here, to Bhyam, unto you only. One must chant God's name not as the Mayavadi philosophers say, any name, such as the demigod's name or the names of God's energies. Only the holy name of the Supreme Lord will be effective. Anyone who compares the holy name of the Supreme Lord to the holy names of the demigods is called Pasandi or an offender.
Pashandi.
The holy name has to be chanted to please the Supreme Lord and not for any sense gratification or professional purpose. If this pure mentality is there, then even though a person is born of a low family, such as a dog eaters, he is so glorious that not only he has purified himself, but he is quite competent to deliver others. He is competent to speak on the importance of the transcendental name, just as Thakura Haridasa did. He was apparently born in a family of Mohammedans, But because he was chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord offenselessly, Lord Chaitanya empowered him to become the authority or acharya of spreading the name. It did not matter that he was born in a family which was not following the Vedic rules and regulations. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Advaita Prabhu accepted him as an authority because he was offenselessly chanting the name of the Lord. Authorities like Advaita Prabhu and Lord Chaitanya immediately accepted that he had already performed all kinds of austerities, studied the Vedas, and performed all sacrifices. This is automatically understood. There is a hereditary class of Brahmanas called the Smarta Brahmanas, however, who are of the opinion that even if such persons who are chanting the holy name of the Lord are accepted as purified, they still have to perform Vedic rites or await their next birth in a family of Brahmanas so that they can perform the Vedic rituals. But actually, that is not the case. Such a man does not need to wait for the next birth to become purified. He is at once purified. It is understood that he has already performed all sorts of rites. It is the so-called Brahmanas who actually have to undergo different kinds of austerities before reaching that point of purification. There are many other Vedic performances which are not described here. All such Vedic rituals have been already performed by the chanters of the holy name. The word Juhuvu means that the chanters of the holy name have already performed all kinds of sacrifices. Sasnu means that they have already traveled to all the holy places of pilgrimage and taken part in purificatory activities at those places. They are called Arya because they have already finished all these requirements, and therefore they must be among the Aryans or those who have qualified themselves to become Aryans. Aryan refers to those who are civilized, whose manners are regulated according to the Vedic rituals. Any devotee who is chanting the holy name of the Lord is the best kind of Aryan. Unless one studies the Vedas, one cannot become an Aryan, but it is automatically understood that the chanters have already studied all the Vedic literature. The specific word used here is anuchu, which means that because they have already completed all those recommended acts, they have become qualified to be spiritual masters. The very word grananti, which is used in this verse, means to be already established in the perfectional stage of ritualistic performances. If one is seated on the bench of a high court and is giving judgment on cases, it means that he has already passed all the legal exams and is better than those who are engaged in the study of law or those expecting to study law in the future. In a similar way, persons who are chanting the holy name are transcendental to those who are actually performing the Vedic rituals and those who expect to be qualified. Or in other words, those who are born in families of Brahmanas but have not yet undergone the reformatory processes and who therefore expect to study the Vedic rituals and perform their sacrifices in the future. There are many Vedic statements in different places saying that anyone who chants the holy name of the Lord becomes immediately freed from conditional life, and anyone who hears the holy names of the Lord, even though born in a family of dog eaters, also becomes liberated from the clutches of material entanglement. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. One more we'll read, some the devotee can read. We'll do one more. Tam tvam aham brahma param pumaamsam pratyakshotasi atmani samvibhavyam swatejasa dvashtaguna pravaham vande vishnum kapilam vedagarbham. And repeat. Tam tvamaham brahma param pumaamsam
Tam tvamaham brahma param pumaamsam
pratyak strotasi atmani samvibhavyam.
pratyak shrotasi atmani samvibhavyam
Swatejasa dvashtaguna pravaham
tejasa dvashtaguna pravaham
Vande Vishnum Kapilam Vedagarbham.
Vande Vishnum Kapilam Vedagarbham.
Tam Tvam Aham Brahma Param Pumamsam.
Tvam Aham Brahma Param Pumamsam.
Pratyakstrotasi Atmani Samvibhavyam.
Pratyakshrodasi Atmani Samvibhavyam.
Svatejasa Dvashta Guna
Pravaham.
Vande Vishnum Kapilam Vedagarbham.
Vande Vishnum Kapilam Vedagarbham.
Translation. I believe, my Lord, that you are Lord Vishnu himself under the name of Kapila, and you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Brahman. The saints and sages, being freed from all the disturbance of the senses and mind, meditate upon you, for by your mercy only can one become free from the clutches of the three modes of material nature. At the time of dissolution, all the Vedas are sustained in you only. Okay. Someone can read the purport.
Shall I read?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Devahuti, the mother of Kapila, instead of prolonging her prayers, summarized that Lord Kapila was none other than Vishnu, and that since she was a woman, it was not possible for her to worship him properly simply by prayer. It was her intention that the Lord be satisfied. The word pratyak is significant. In yogic practice, the 8 divisions are yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Pratyahara means to wind up the activities of the senses. The level of realization of the Supreme Lord, evidenced by Devahuti, is possible when one is able to withdraw the senses from material activities. When one is engaged in devotional service, there is no scope for his senses to be engaged otherwise. In such full Krishna consciousness, one can understand the Supreme Lord as he is. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So there are 2 verses. So, so here again, so in the last week also, we were discussing about the glorification of the holy name and how how potential it is, because it's compared to equal to, it has the same potency as the Lord himself. No, that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Shikshastakam also. Nam namakari bahuda nija sarva shaktir. And we also saw like how we were discussing what are the offenses that we need to avoid while chanting the holy name, because Prabhupada says, a person can become immediately purified. It doesn't take much time if we do the offenseless chanting. And in the previous verse, we saw Prabhupada was explaining about 3 kind of offenses that happens. Okay, what was, anyone remembers? What is the three stages of chanting? The chanting has 3 stages, no? One is, the first stage is offensive chanting, and the second,
Offenseless.
yeah, nama, that is called what is that is also called something, no? Nama parada, and what are the other 2? Nama parada means we are doing offenses. That could be any of the 10 offenses which we chant every day during before chanting, right? During Mangalarti time, if you all have attended, you know that, and also we discussed in detail in the last class. So that is Nama Aparada stage. So in that, most offensive is mother of all offenses. It is said inattentive chanting. Like while chanting, I recently just saw one very beautiful picture. It showed, like, right, these water lines usually they're when it has to come from a big tank and it has to be supplied to all the houses from municipality, like that it will come. So what will happen when there is a leakage in between. So when it reaches the final lane or something, the end, so very less it becomes that the pressure becomes so low. So similarly, the picture was showing it was like Krishna is having so much of mercy. He has kept so much of potency in the name. But what will happen? So many offenses will happen because of our inattention. Inattention is the main cause. And in that it could be like checking we are distracted by, could be a physical things also, like by mobile distractions, or it could be somebody, you were interpreting while chanting and talking to someone else, or so all that is showing us like that drop is going up, no? The water is leakage is happening. So all the potencies we are losing. And then finally, when it comes, the result is very meager. That is why we are not able to see the effect, though we are chanting so many rounds from, right, for past 2-3 years, we have started, but then why we are not advancing? So that is also a reason. There could be other reasons, but this is the major reason, which all the acharyas stress about on chanting the holy name. So we know like how Gauri Kishore Babji Maharaj, he didn't even want to have any disciple, because he thought like, if I have disciple, then he will not be able to because they chant the holy name of the Lord. But Prabhupada is not. Prabhupada is actually, he is called Bhajananandi, Gaur Kishore Babji Maharaj, no? So those people, Bhajananandi means they don't want to, they are not interested in preaching. But Prabhupada is Parvarajaka, which is that, I'm not, like, who is like, he want to give the holy name, who want to all the people. It's not like he alone want to sit and chant. Actually, it depends. It is their choice. So he was like that, and he didn't wanted to have any disciple. Only who was his only disciple? Anyone knows? Was the only disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta. Guru Gaur Kishore Babji Maharaj. Yes. Anyone knows? Whom did he take as disciple?
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati.
Yes, correct. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada is Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master, right? Yeah. And before he came to chanting, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, so he, for 9 years, every day he used to chant 3 lakh names, just like Haridas Thakur. So because he wanted to have that realization before he would preach, because he thought he was not, just imagine, so we are nothing, right? We can't even compare. So we are just doing as a, because so that we also advance in the spiritual life by doing that, because Prabhupada says, and this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, which is a preaching movement. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, anybody, anyone, if we have life, that person has to teach. No, it is Bharata Bhumile Janma Karila. He says that if you're born in this Bharata Bhumi, that itself is auspicious. And first, Karo, Janma Sarthaka Karo Paropakar. So first you have to make your life successful, and then you can do the Paropakar. So Paropakar, engaging in other all activities of philanthropic activities, those are all is okay. But then first you have to make your life successful by chanting the holy name, right? So by engaging in devotional service to the Lord. So he chanted like that for 9 years, and then only he started to teach, it is said. So similarly, here in this verse, previous verse, we are seeing that anyone who, without any discrimination, if somebody is chanting the holy name, that should be understood that he has done so much of austerity already in the previous life. So even in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna says, Pitaraga Bhaya Krodhaha Manmana Mamupashitaha Bahavo Gnana Tapasa Puta Madbhava Magataha. So only when a person is free from what? Raga Bhaya Krodha. Raga means attachment, Bhaya is anger, Krodha means, Raga is attachment, Bhaya is fear, and Krodha is anger. So these three, because these are all comes, if one is there, the other will come, like the other 6 tanas, anarthas, no? Kama, Krodha. If Kama is there, Krodha will automatically come. No, when Kama is not fulfilled, Krodha will come. And if kama is fulfilled, that will become greed. No, lobha. Kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsarya. So all these are like friends, no? If one is there, the other also will come. So what I was saying. Yeah, so Krishna says that these three, these are mainly the Vita, Raga, and Bhaya. Vita means to live. Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. So these three things, if it is there, the person will not be able to take devotional service seriously. So similarly, even Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sutullava. So after many lives, only one come to a understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, and then he starts worshipping. So it's not easy to take up. So here also, in the verse, Mother Devahuti is telling her son that only she's glorifying the tongues. That is the devotees, pure devotees who are always 24/7. They're always chanting remembering the Lord's name. And she says here that even if such people are born in a family of dog eaters, doesn't matter, because see, this is a scripture which is the highest, Srimad Bhagavatam. In any other scriptures we see like there is no, like the highest is not given, and also there could be discrimination between the different kind of people worshipping different things, no? But here when we come different deities are being worshipped. But then in Srimad Bhagavatam, only the Supreme Lord is being worshipped, and that too by all the other devatas, because devatas are none other than they are compared to the limbs of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we have prayers of Brahma, no? Prayers by Brahma. We have everyone, prayers by Brahma, prayers by Lord Shiva, like that. And so now we are reading here prayers by Devahuti. So she is saying here that it doesn't matter if he is born in a family of dog eater, because once, even if they're engaged in such sinful activities, but then after, if somebody by mercy, this does not come just like that, but if they have done some punya, no, or Agnata Sukriti, it is said. Agnata Sukriti means without knowing they have helped some devotee, or we would have also done, and somehow because of that punya we got, that is spiritual punya, no? Because of that we got the association of devotees in this life. So easily it will not come. So previously they have done something, so they got association and they become really Vaishnavas. So can you quote some examples who became like that from the Shastras? Like they were actually not in mode of goodness, but then they came, not just they came to mode of goodness, but they become a pure devotees also. Can name anyone?
Dhruva Maharaj.
Dhruv Maharaj. Okay, how come Dhruv Maharaj was not in a platform of goodness earlier?
No, he was not a devotee.
He was not a devotee, yes. He was not a devotee, yes. So, but he came in contact with Narada Muni. And yes, so Narada Muni, and then he became a pure devotee, because even he came with desire, no? He came with some desire.
Yeah.
What was he desired?
He wanted to be more than his grandfather. Oh.
Yeah. So he wanted, that is great grandfather, Lord Brahma. So but then he got purified, no? Because of the chanting of the holy name. So after that, there was, I think the next will be prayers by Dhruva only, what we are going to have. So we will see how he is going to praise the Lord, glorify the Lord. So because he says that, oh, I was expecting, I came for a piece of glass, no? But then he compared himself, all that materialist thing which he desired, he felt shame of himself when he saw the Lord, because that is what Krishna does. That is the advantage of worshipping Supreme Lord Krishna. What will happen? When we go to the other demigods, usually Bhagavad Gita says, कांक्षता कर्मणां सिद्धिं यजन्तैः देवताः क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके सिद्धिर्भवति मे सदा. So because we desire we have so many materialistic desire, people go to different devatas. And Prabhupada says, and that is possible also, because they are genuine. Devatas are not like they're not right. Whoever is mentioned in the scriptures are right. and they give the benediction also. But the thing is, it is temporary and not permanent. That is the difference. Whatever we get from the devatas, it is temporary and not permanent. And also, they don't know the real ultimate good for us. They can immediately, if we are asking for something, they will immediately give you, but may not be good for us. No, if that is not making me really improve in my spiritual life, so Krishna will see that. So Krishna will, just like that, he will not grant us. So he will see if that is really helping me, or if my desires are not purified, then he would not grant. So that is what happened with Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj, initially Krishna immediately didn't give, but after, he was he did so much of austerity, and then Lord was pleased and he purified his desires. Then he granted. So that time he was God realized, Dhruva Maharaj. So he didn't expect anything apart from worshipping the Lord. No. So similarly, this Bhagavatam also is, that is why it is called as the purest form of literature, and it only states about like the highest kind of worship to Lord Krishna. And here it is said that the people who are taking the holy name are compared to Aryans. So we see this Aryans have been mentioned in Bhagavad Gita also. So where Krishna says that when Arjuna didn't wanted to fight, so Krishna condemns him, Arjuna, saying that Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupastitam anarya justam asvargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. So there he says anarya. Anarya means you are just behaving like a uncivilized person. No, civilized person in the sense the people who follow the regulations of Vedas are called as Aryans. So people who don't do, or who, as per the Vedic injunction, if you don't behave. So because for a Kshatriya, giving up the war like that and living, running away from the war field is not glorious. So there Krishna condemns him that it's not, you are not behaving like a Aryan. So here also it is said, the people who are chanting the holy name are considered to be Aryans, who have executed all kind of austerities. So we need not actually worry that if we are not able to do big sacrifices or austerities. No, only austerity what is Prabhupada expecting is for us to do the getting up early in the morning, doing the finishing our chanting. No, somehow during the day you have to finish 16 rounds. It's advisable to do in Brahma Muhurta. Otherwise, complete it before the end of the day. Don't keep for postponing. No, do it the same day and then following regulative principles. And then keeping Ekadashi and on Janmashtami's, and Acharya's disappearance and appearance days. So these days alone we have to do some austerities given. And yes, so here even in the next verse also, where we were saying that austerity means also is control of senses. Now, without doing that, we will not be able to keep us distractions away. Last week also we were talking, why do we have so much distractions? Because we have so many attractions, Maya. So outside, when it is so much attractive, though, so we are not able to concentrate our mind. So mind obviously is, it is by nature, it is fluctuating in the sense but it needs practice. So with and last week I think one of the Mataji, I think Veena Mataji was suggesting that it is good to have positive distractions than negative. What do you mean by that? So negative means, so mind is distracting in something which is not, where Krishna is not there. Anything which we think or to enjoy or anything apart from Krishna, so that is, or it could be any day-to-day activities which is there. So those things are coming to the mind. You're not able to concentrate on chanting. So better than that, she was saying that one devotee suggested, why don't you sit in a puja room and see Krishna? The only distraction is you will be able to see the Lord image, or you can think of the past times or like that. It will come to mind. So that distraction is okay. And I also have heard, yeah, this many devotees do. And there's also distractions where people learn the shloka. I mean, this I have heard from Aishwarya Mataji. So she used to say that you do one round chanting, right? The 108. Huh? After chanting the 108 rounds, the one round japa, she would be learning one shloka. No, everybody wants to learn verses, right? So what we can do? So she was suggesting that, I mean, it's not a suggestion. She was just saying that. So it is basically, see, there is 108 shlokas which Prabhupada has given important, which if we have not learned. So we can think of learn one shloka, try to learn or read that. Just read it. Every after one round, read that verse. Like keep one verse per day, read that. So what will happen? Even if your mind is distracting, so your like mind is like you want to learn that verse, only that thing will come to your mind. Okay, I will let me recall that verse or something like that. Actually, ideally, we have to concentrate only on the name. I'm not, I mean, it's not right to distraction. But if at all distraction is coming a lot, you're not able to concentrate, just do this. At least it will not distract you. I mean, other things. Instead of getting distraction, again, it is for Krishna only, no? We are doing that for his happiness, or we are, even the chanting of the verse is also is it's Krishna only. So whatever it is from Bhagavad Gita, which is said to be song of the Lord. So nothing wrong. So we can think about that also. Basically, even in the we will only get when with the practice we get to know that okay, how much mind control is required. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he has translated one called Mana Shiksha. Let me see if I find that once. Prema Kishori Mataji once mentioned about that in the morning Bhagavatam class. So basically, this is like a teaching to the mind. Okay. So this is very beautiful. So how one has to concentrate always on about Krishna and on the, is this one? Actually, in a way, it is teaching the mind, because mind is said to be like a child, no? And with intelligence, we have to actually control it. I mean, if how do we control a child? Even we know nowadays, children, if you tell like, if we scold and tell them, they will never behave. They will never do what you want. But then if lovingly, if we are able to tell and convince them, they will do it. So similarly, mind is also like that. We should treat the mind like that. And when we make it understand basically with the intelligence, so that intelligence will come only when we read the scriptures. So we know now, no, right? So how my intelligence is always higher than the mind. So it is able to control. That should be the way. It should not be like we become slave of the senses. Mind should not become a slave of senses, but intelligently it has to handle. So, okay. Anyone wants to read this translation, please go on. I am not going to the verses because it will take time. We'll just read what he has given in this Manashiksha. Teachings to the mind, this is called as.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. Translation 1. O mind, I grasp your feet and beg you with sweet words. Please cast away all hypocrisy and develop intense, unprecedented love for my spiritual master. Vrajabhumi, the people
People of Raja.
People of Raja, the Vaishnavas, the Brahmanas, the Gayatri mantra, the holy name, and the transcendental shelter, that is, the fresh young couple of Vraja, Radha and Krishna. Second, O mind, don't concern yourself with the pious and impious deeds described in the Vedas. Rather, intently serve Sri Radha Krishna in Vraja. Always remember that the Lord Chaitanya is the son of Maharaja Nanda and that my Guru is most dear to Lord Mukunda. O mind, just listen to me. If you desire to reside in Vraja birth after birth, and if you desire to directly serve the divine youthful couple there and there with great attraction, then with intense love, always remember and bow down to Srila Swarupa Damodara Goswami, to Srila Rupa Goswami and his elder brother Srila Sanatana Goswami, and to all their associates and followers. O mind, give up friendship with non-devotees, which is nothing but a prostitute who will steal the treasure of your heart, your desire to serve Radha Krishna. Don't listen to talks of impersonal liberation, which are a tigress who devours everyone. You should even give up attraction for Lord Narayana, which leads to the world of Vaikuntha. Instead, O mind, just worship Sri Radha Krishna in Braja, or they bestow upon their worshippers the jewel of pure love for themselves. The highwaymen of lust and his friends have bound me around their neck with the painful, horrible, powerful ropes of many wicked deeds. O mind, please scream out to the devotees of Krishna, the killer of Baka, I am being killed. Then he will save me. O mind, why do you burn us both by bathing in the urine trickling from the arse of great deviousness and hypocrisy? Instead, you should delight us by eternally bathing in the glistering nectar ocean of pure love for Sri Gandharva
Giridhari.
Giridhari, Sri Radha Krishna. As long as the impudent, untouchable woman of the desire of fame dances in my heart, why should pure love for Radha Krishna touch me? O mind, continuously serve my spiritual master, the leader of those who are dear to the Lord. Dear to the Lord, that my master will quickly kick out that Haridan and allow that pure love to enter, so that he will mercifully smash my wickedness, even though I am a great rascal, so that he will give me the splendid nectar of transcendental love, and so he will engage me in Sri Radha's service. Please, O mind with words choked with emotion, worship Lord Giridhari here in Braja. O mind, please meditate on Krishna, the moon of Braja forest, as the Lord of my controller, Srimati Radharani, and please meditate upon Srimati Radharani, the queen of Braja forest, at Krishna's controller. Also, please meditate upon Lalita as the peerless friend of Radha and Krishna, Vishaka as the Guru who teaches them many things, and Radha Kunda and Govardhana Hill as two places the mere sight of which bestow charming transcendental love of the divine couple. O mind, please worship Lord Hari's beloved Radha with the splendor of her beauty. She makes Rati, Gauri, and Leela burn with envy with the power of her good fortunes. She defeats Sachi, Lakshmi, and Satyabhama, and with her ability to control Krishna, she completely eclipses Chandravali and other pious young girls of Vraja. O mind, in order to attain the direct service of the two divine lovers, Sri Sri Radha Girdhari, in the company of their friends, every day you must constantly drink with Sri Rupa Goswami the 5 nectars of worshipping them, chanting
their names, meditating on them, hearing about them,
chanting their names,
going down
meditating
before
upon
them.
them, hearing upon them, and bowing down before them. And every day you must worship Govardhana hill. These 11 excellent instructions to the mind grant all spiritual benedictions. And person who stays with these devotees, follows Srila Rupa Goswami and with a sweet voice loudly sings these 11 verses. With 11 verses will attain the
Matchless jewel of direct service to Sri Sri Radha Krishna in the forest of Gokula.
matchless
Thank you.
jewel of direct service to Sri Sri Radha Krishna in the forest of Gokula. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Who all want to have this matchless jewel of direct service to Sri Sri Radha Krishna in Gokula? Yes. Who all want to have?
All of us want
Me,
to have.
Mataji.
Everyone, no? So
Yes.
then we have to, how should we train our mind in this way? Right? If we are able to, I mean, it is said, if we are able to just recite also, just see the power of, because these literature are transcendental, because Vaishnava songs are not just, because these are written by pure devotees of the Lord, and also they are all like associates actually, who have come from the spiritual world. So these are also transcendental if we are able to chant these verses also. So here we can see how the mind, actually this is written by Raghunath Dasa Goswami, but then translated by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because it is originally in Sanskrit, and then this has been explained. So here we see, here he says that don't get attached in pious and impious deeds also, because the Vedas are only focused on pious and impious deeds. And because why it is not recommended not to engage in pious and impious deed, what will happen? Why is he saying that only remember Lord Chaitanya, who is actually Lord Krishna himself? No? So, yeah, why is he saying that? Don't engage
Even
in
with the
pious.
pious and impious deeds, we will be subject to the results of those actions. It won't be
Yeah.
nishkama.
So what will happen? To take that result, you have to come back to this material world. That is the only thing. No, even if we do good, so for that good also we have to get the result. So if you are done, to take that, we have to come back again. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha dosha anudarshanam. No? Krishna says. So it is always there. So it is not recommended. So he says here. And also here he is comparing that to, we can see here fame is also is been, the different, it is very deep actually. It will take lot of time also, to understand also. So here it is, the desire is touched, is untouchable woman. He compares the desire to the desire for fame. No, he says that when there is a desire for fame, so these things are there, how can one can think of Krishna? No, one cannot chant on the Krishna's name if we are having so many desires, or do I want to become Mana Puja Pratishta, it is said, no? These are all with the mind. So if we are expecting somebody has to respect me, give me very good position. So we are very much attached to that. So that then one cannot chant the holy name. That is what even Sikshashtakam it says. Trunadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishtuna. Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadari. If one has to chant without any distractions, no? So he says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says we have to be as humble as grass and as tolerant as tree. So only in that position one is able to take the holy name. Otherwise, anyone, without any discrimination, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once met Ramananda Raya, right? Ramananda Raya, he was a governor in Tamil Nadu. So in that time, so 500 years back when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, actually he was a associate. He was of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of Krishna only. So he comes as Ramananda Raya. It said Arjuna, Arjuna and Vishaka Sakhi. It is Ramananda Raya. So he says he was actually born in a Shudra, and he was a Gruhastha. So he says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him to explain the very confidential past tense of spiritual world of Radha and Krishna. So Ramananda Rai says that I'm not qualified. How can I teach? No, because you are a Brahmana and you are a Brahmachari, and I am a Shudra and I am a Gruhastha also. So I'm not qualified at all. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says one verse, no? Kiba Nyasa Kiba, what is that verse? Where he says that whoever knows the science of Krishna can teach. So who said that? There's no need to think that you are a Brahmana, you are a Shudra or something. It doesn't matter. Whatever caste you are born, that doesn't matter. But what if you know the science of Krishna, you know who is Krishna and what is the what is the thing? Best for the soul, no? To engage in the devotional service of the Lord. If somebody is aware of that, then he says that you can teach. You can teach Krishna. You can give Krishna to everyone. So that doesn't matter. So even Haridas Thakur, we saw in the verse where Prabhupada was writing. So though he was born in a Mohammedan family as a Muslim, but then he was so elevated because he was always chanting the holy name of the Lord whole day. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made him Namachari. He gave the position of Acharya. So there are so many instances like Lord himself has considered that one who chants the holy name, he can be given a highest position, irrespective of what birth he is taken. So these things, the birth and these things Krishna has done, that is actually, it's only on Varnashrama platform. No? Once a person become liberated, those things does not matter. He's not obliged to follow any of those things when a person is in a liberated platform like Prabhupada. Because for Prabhupada, they say that sannyasis cannot perform marriages, but then Prabhupada, many marriages he performed because for his devotees, his disciples. So because Prabhupada is in a liberated platform, he's not, even there is a verse, right? It says that we are indebted to so many people in this world, no? To parents, to ancestors, to forefathers, demigods, so to relatives. So many people we are indebted to, but whoever has taken a shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that person is not obliged for anyone, it says. So here also the glorification of somebody chanting the holy name has been explained here. Okay, let's see anything we can. And yeah, so Smarta Brahmanas. So even in morning Bhagavatam class also today, His Grace Namanisha Prabhuji also was mentioning about that we see in the society that there are many Brahmanas, by birth Brahmanas, but then they don't actually respect the Vaishnavas also. Though, I mean, they're not ready to even hear the knowledge. That's what he was saying. Because they're very proud by birth. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not give any he does not give any value just for the birth Brahmana. Actually, once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing a kirtan. I mean, they used to perform all night, right? So in Shiva Sangan house, there was continuously kirtan going on. And there was one Brahmana who was very proud of himself. And he came and asked permission that if he could join. And he was telling that he was so much austerity he does. He has only milk. We don't have anything else. And he wanted to please Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by that. But then Chaitanya Prabhu didn't allow him because he was very proud of his austerity and he didn't have devotion for Krishna. So this we can understand. There are many instances in Chaitanya Charitamrita like that, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just pleased. And even how Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami also, he gave the highest knowledge to them in Prayag. No? And through the knowledge they got from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have written hundreds of books, which even Srila Prabhupada also has referred, and in his purports we can see all that, where he gives those realizations. So it's nothing to do with the caste. Whatever person is born into, but somebody has taken into a devotional service or chanting the holy name of the Lord, is considered to be on the highest platform. So that is what Srimad Bhagavatam concludes. Okay. Anything is there to add? Okay, anyone wants to add anything or anything you have to say, please, you are open to speak. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. You have anything to say?
No, Mataji.
Okay, any questions or anything? So this chanting of holy name is also one of the 9 process of devotional service, no? What are the 9 process of devotional service?
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam.
So, okay. So this chanting comes in the under what? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, which one?
Kirtanam?
Yes, correct. Very nice. So Kirtanam. So chanting could be also Kirtanam. Kirtanam can also become like telling the glories of the Lord or reading Bhagavatam, anything. So even the chanting the holy name is also a Kirtan. So this is also one of the 9 process of devotional service, chanting the holy name of the Lord. And this is the only recommended, no, in the Kali Yuga, because all the other sacrifices which were mentioned, all the fruit of those sacrifices mentioned in different yugas, we are going to get the same benefit just by chanting the holy name in the Kali Yuga. And Kali Yuga, only holy name only will work. Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalau nasti eva nasti gatir anyata. So there is no other go than chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna. And Kunti Maharani also, right? She says that there's a one famous verse, no? Janma Ishwarya Shrita Shribi Yedaman Uman. So where she says that Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribi. So Janma birth, the riches and the high good family. So these things and all, what will happen? Materially, if somebody is very much born in a very rich family, these are all actually disqualifications. Like one will not become serious in spiritual life, she says. because the proud, when materially, one cannot progress because there are so many distractions. No, Prabhupada says when a person become puffed up with this power and money and these things, how can he chant the holy name? He will not be able to chant the holy name. So that is also becomes a so we can see but with the so much intense when it is called, and Krishna immediately he responds also, like Draupadi, right? Draupadi, when she was calling Krishna, how he reciprocated. So Krishna says, right? Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tataiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah. ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्तमानं वर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः. So however, the way we surrender to Krishna, so similarly he reciprocates. So we have to become more, we have to try to be more conscious on our chanting and make it more pure, because just it is not something, this is the spiritual knowledge is not something that we read and learn and digest and we understand. And it is something Krishna has to reveal. The holy name has to reveal. So if that revelation we have to get, then we also become serious. And when we chant, we have to concentrate and do. Yes. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. So next week we'll go to prayers by Dhruv Maharaj. पाञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णव की जय. नामाचार्य हरदास ठाकुर की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. We can chant once, 3 times. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Krishna, everyone.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.